The jungle is unforgiving. If you're weak, if you're injured, well, there's only one word for it. Prey for the predators. A life hangs in the balance. One slip, one stumble, and suddenly they're right upon you. Ghosts out of the darkness. This night though, a young deer had fallen prey to poachers. Its body is wrecked, its breath is growing weaker, and around it, those circling vultures are already hungry. Every predator now sees a free dinner. But then, something happens. There's a sound that makes every beast pause. They hear it, too, and from among the shadows, thousands of pairs of eyes come to watch. They also see what we see, a wounded fawn, broken and defenseless, yet about to die. But it's not just any deer. It's the child of the great white stag, an animal that these predators would never want to mess with. And so they come with plans in mind, thinking about taking turns to finish off the poor creature. But before any of them can get close enough to attack, thousands of stinging bullets hit them. Angry and hurt, they flee into the shadows. The fawn still doesn't seem to notice anything, but the forest is now silent. You'd think the animals have gone away, but no, they're waiting, watching intently. Because this is not a normal deer. It's a descendant of the legendary white stag, who was once the guardian of this entire forest. Back then, he made sure that every beast lived according to nature's rules, including the humans. They hunted him for decades, but they never got close enough to land a single hit. He moved too fast, almost like a ghost. And so, after many years, when he was finally tracked down and killed, his legacy passed on to his son. That little guy, that small white fawn, is meant to grow up and become the new protector of the forest. So while he's still so tiny, the other animals leave him alone, but the predators are not satisfied with that. The wolf is especially mad, because his grandmother died trying to hunt the white stag. And now it seems his revenge will finally come true. But how does he know that? Well, you'll find out. Just keep watching. So the jackal creeps out of the bushes and walks closer to the fawn. It doesn't make a sound, so it won't startle him, but it gets closer and closer, planning to snatch him up. And then the moment comes when the deer is only a few steps away. But that's when he feels some strange energy coming from the bushes behind him. Turning his head, he sees a lot of angry bees flying towards the jackal. They sting the poor animal so much that it lets out an ear-splitting yelp and runs off as fast as it can. The deer can't understand what's going on, but he likes the attention, that's for sure. And so he falls asleep, dreaming that one day he himself will become strong and brave like his father. And that's how it goes on for many days. All the animals come to the deer, wanting to eat it, but none of them dare do anything. Each time they get close enough to the fawn, the beast chase them away. The deer doesn't really feel like eating, though, so he spends his days sleeping and playing, and at night, hiding from the wolves. But still, day by day, he gets weaker and weaker. However, the attacks of the predators also get less frequent, so it's clear that they all want to catch the deer. But they don't want to lose their lives to those bees, and so they sit outside the thicket, just waiting for the moment when the deer might get a little careless and wander out of the protective zone. But meanwhile, the fawn grows stronger and braver. And all the animals are starting to wonder if they'll ever get to eat the delicious meat or if they'll have to give up. One evening, the lynx decides to risk it all. It creeps closer to the deer and pounces. Finally, it gets its claws into the little fawn, and although it doesn't use full force, the deer still can't escape. It looks like the lynx has won, but then the most important thing happens. The young deer looks up at the moon and yells as loud as it can, and suddenly, just like that, the ground starts shaking. The lynx realizes it's made a huge mistake. With a frightened yelp, it tries to run away, but it's too late. From among the trees come hundreds of powerful stags. They snort angrily and rush straight for the lynx, chasing it further and further into the forest. They're protecting their relative, and they're so enraged that they don't even care if they get stung by those bees along the way. Now, the rest of the animals are all wondering if this is their chance to finally enjoy their meal. But no sooner than they creep close, than the stags run over them, driving them away. All the predators are scared of them, so they hide in the bushes and watch as the stags bring water to the young deer and surround him. And then the most amazing thing happens. The deer isn't just grateful for this help, but he seems to command those stouts. They listen to his every word, and together they walk to the center of the clearing. There, under the old oak tree, the deer sits down, and the stags form a circle around him. The predators have never seen anything like it, but they've grown tired of waiting, so they go home. They all thought the deer was going to die, but look at him now. He's surrounded by the most powerful animals in the forest. But why do they protect him? They don't even know him. What's going on here? Well, we'll tell you soon. The next morning, all the animals gathered in the clearing again, but now they brought gifts for the deer. Fragrant berries, sweet fruits, and water from the cleanest spring. The deer was very grateful for the gifts, but he said he didn't need any of it. He wasn't hungry. Then the animals started to panic. How could a young fawn live without food? But the deer told them not to worry, because he knew exactly what he needed. And so, under the oak tree, they all heard what the deer asked for. I need you to take me to the top of the highest mountain. he says, and the strongest stag immediately volunteered for the job. Without saying a word, he picked the deer up with his teeth and ran as fast as he could towards the mountains. It seemed as if they would never reach their destination, but then the stag suddenly quickened his pace and jumped onto a stone. "Wait, right here," he tells the deer, and then he leaps onto another rock, and another, and another. Soon, the stag is on the very peak of the mountain, and below him, the clouds seem to float past like cotton candy. At that moment, the wind carries something to the stag and the deer, some strange whispers that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. "We have been waiting for you," the wind seems to say. "You are our hope." Suddenly, the stag understands everything. The deer isn't just any ordinary fawn. He's the future protector of the forest, the one who's destined to defeat the evil sorcerer. He's been hiding in the forest for many years, sucking the power out of the animals. The stag also realizes why the bees protected the deer. They sensed his incredible power, too. Now, the stag carefully places the deer on the ground. "Take your first step now, little one, and all the magic of this mountain will be yours," he says. The deer takes a deep breath and steps forward. Right under his hoof is a magic crystal. Its magic spreads through the deer's body, making him grow bigger and stronger. Now, the young stag knows what he must do. He bows to the wise old stag and asks for his blessing. Then he picks the biggest berry from the branches and eats it, and that's when the real magic begins. The stag feels how all the energy of the forest is gathering in his mouth, turning into a sharp fang. His antlers grow longer and thicker, and his fur becomes whiter and brighter. The young stag is no longer a fawn, but the true white stag, the protector of the forest. All the animals hear a loud roar and see a flash of lightning split the sky. They haven't seen anything like this for a long time. What has happened to the forest? Is this the end of the world? They start to run away, but they don't get very far. The white stag jumps down from the mountain and lands right in front of them. They bow before him, recognizing their new leader. The white stag takes a step forward, and all the animals follow him, knowing their protector is leading them to victory. Together, they'll defeat the sorcerer and free the forest from his evil forever.